Make it up, camera. When I was thinking about starting a vlog, I had to find the right reason, and I thought about it for a long time. And when it came to me of what my reason was, it became easier. My reason for starting a vlog is to preserve these moments, preserve these memories. And digitally, there's more chances nowadays, more tools nowadays. There are more tools nowadays to use to preserve memories. And everything that is physical at some point will break down, decay, or no longer exist. So to preserve these, there's a digital format which everybody has access to, and that is probably the biggest reason why I'm preserving and documenting these memories, because these physical formats won't last forever. So as I'm setting up the shot, it makes me think about the theme testing, because there's a few things that we're testing right now. So I have the FX30, and right now I have the 15mm 1.4 lens on it. And as I'm setting this up to, I want to say set up the scene, but as I'm setting this up, there's two options, two base ISOs that the FX30 has. And I was gonna say this is a perfect time to do an experiment. So right now we have it on the low level, which is 800, and there's the higher level at 2500. So I'm gonna do a test with, this is the 800, and at the same time we can test out the autofocus as well. So again, this is the 800 ISO. We're gonna change it to the 25. All right, this is the 2500 base ISO. So the two levels, there's a high and a low, and as you can see, if you can see on the screen, there's an H on the bottom right. And we'll do a autofocus test. So this is a test on the higher ISO base level of 2500. I remember these photos hanging on the wall in the bedroom of my grandmother's house. And I remember looking at them and having so much questions. Who took the picture? When was it? How old was I? Where was I? All these questions that I might never know. I'm not sure who's there to tell the story, but maybe we'll find out one day. One way that I've been able to figure it out is looking on the physical form. So when you're preserving these digital documents through scanning or taking a picture or video, sometimes there's markings of who took the picture. So there is a log there. If this is your sign to preserve your memories, and we have so many digital tools nowadays to do so, so take advantage of them. I figured it out. I figured it out. I've had such a hard time I've just had a hard problem starting. And I figured out why. Because I didn't understand or didn't know why. Well, I want to say what's my purpose, but you have to have a reason. And I figured it out. My reason is for the love. And the only way to exercise that and to document that is to press record and upload. That might not have sounded right, but what I'm trying to say, if you do it for the love, things are a lot easier. Or even if they're hard, they become more worth it. And so what I've figured out is I've started to do this project, the digital preservation project, where photos and things that have been passed on to me are now preserved because I figured out how to preserve them. I think everybody should do that before we lose those memories. And initially started with film. Because I come from the days of film, and I do have photos, but how do we protect them? How do we safeguard them? How do we make sure that we can enjoy them in the future? How can we preserve them so that we can tell a story? Well, with today's tools, there are so many digital options that can help you preserve your memories, and you can share them with others. And one of the great tools is you're watching this on right now. YouTube. YouTube is a great tool. I wish YouTube had an affiliate program, because I would definitely tell or suggest you to sign up for premium so you don't have to watch any of these commercials. Save yourself some time and money and get YouTube premium and don't watch any of the commercials. But in reality, there's a really big reason why that initially it took me a while. I knew what I was building up to, but it finally clicked. And I don't know if hopefully it won't be as hard anymore, so that I have all this footage that I want to share, or want to document rather, because these are things that are important and I want to make sure that I preserve these memories. I think everybody would agree that starting is always the hardest part, until you find your reason why. And I've found my reason why. Why I initially started to document things, why I initially started to preserve them, and how that provides a story for the future, and also a memory for me. I remember it was hanging on the wall in my grandmother's bedroom. And photos do tell a story, and we have memories from these photos. So that's part of the why, is to preserve these memories, is to digitally document them, and just have them to be able to share with others. And maybe other people will start to think about preserving their memories in a way that they can share them with others in the future. It seems that these are original photos that there might not be another copy for. So I'm glad I get to document them and preserve them for the future. Preserving memories like these are special. That is the why. Film. These are Nike Town So Collector event negatives. Thought I lost these. You just gotta find your why. That's all that matters. Your why. Nobody else's why. Your why. So this is part of the test. We got the Sony FX30. I'm using the 15mm 1.4 G lens, keeping it Sony. It's all native, all works together. Right now I got it on the lower base ISO of 800, and I don't have that much light on, and I think it's doing amazing. Even with a smaller sensor, I feel like this thing just performs. I'm sure there are better cameras and better lens and bigger sensors, but to be honest, this works for me. I'm cool with this.